What's up, everybody, and welcome to Mystics MMOs. I'm your host, Mystic Raven. All right, guys. So today I'm going to be fishing and queuing at the same time. The dailies have reset. I'm trying to get my machinist up to 60 today. I'm hoping, anyways. So what I end up doing is pretty simple. I'm going to go into the queue system, right? And should have reset. Irish, what's up? What's up? What's up? How you doing today, brother? I hope you're doing good. I thought the reset happened at 10 o'clock. What is going on? You know what? I'm wondering if the time, didn't take place and now the queue's set at 11. Interesting. Because it usually resets at 10. I will bet anything that's what happened. Because we fell back an hour and they probably weren't like anticipating that, so we probably have a reset now at 11 o'clock. So heads up, if you guys notice it, it's probably what's occurring. So I'm doing lovely fishing. I'm leveling my culinary, my fishing. I'm trying to catch some pike while I'm over here. And I actually don't mind the fishing in this game in comparison to other fishing, but I hate fishing. I hate it. It's not as bad because it's kind of interesting. The different lures will change your technique of how you fish and will also attract different types of fish. So it's kind of cool in that essence. I'm fishing for pike, so I need to get pike for my stuffed cabbage recipe. I have all sorts of capabilities in this game. So I'm going to stay in the queue system and fish. Get it? I'm fishing for queues. So I am fishing for queues today. it's riveting, I'm telling you. But yeah, I imagine the reset happened at 11 o'clock. We'll wait. I do have to leave a little after 11. But we'll probably see that. I'll bet anything that's what's going to happen. Fishing's not too bad. Unfortunately, here's the nice thing. Fishing in this game will actually make you money. Even harvesting in this game, even if you never craft. Let's say you don't craft. Get your retainers and get them to harvest. Be harvesters. I'm talking botanist, fishing, like hunting, all sorts of that type of shit. But you got to be able to do it yourself, right? Or else they won't go and, venture out for you and stuff. I really like the venture system because you can get mats every hour. Now my retainers should be heading back here soon, but I won't be going back to get them. But every hour. Now there is a mobile app for this game that allows you to sell things. And one thing I would wish they would do is allow you to maintenance your ventures on the app. If they could do that, that would be awesome. I haven't reset either, right? It's got to happen at 11. It has to. I bet you that it's the hour that we lost. Now the queue hasn't, God dang fish. Fucking, this fish is taking my shit. But, come on, you stupid fish. I hate fishing. I grew up fishing in life, so my dad, I lived in the city and I live in an almost like a rural area, but it's kind of different. It's almost like, it's weird. It's not total rural, and at the same time, it's not country. It's more like a rural area, but it's more like their suburb type. It's weird. But you can out in certain areas out by where I live, you can hunt and you can fish. So my dad was a survival type person. I took survival courses and things like that. And a friend of mine actually owns an island in Canada and for a summer business. He actually owns two businesses, but one of his businesses is setting up hunting and fishing for tourists and shit for the summer. And so, you know, you grow up learning how to hunt and how to fish. And then as I got older, I wasn't even interested because I'm more of a nerd, but I know how to do everything like that. So because I grew up in it, I was just like, oh, okay, sure. And my father would be like, wake me up. I actually liked coon hunting when I was younger, raccoon hunting and stuff. We had dogs, we raised dogs, and it was kind of interesting because we trained our pups and our dogs, and we went on, like, you know, tournaments and things like that. And so I grew up hunting. I did like coon hunting, but I didn't like certain hunting because sometimes you were out for hours. But my dad would wake me up even in the middle of the night when it was raining, and if I didn't have school the next day, my dad would be like, get up, get up, get up. And I'm like, why? And he's like, it's raining right now. And I'm like, no, no, no. And he's like, yes, yes, yes. So we would take the boat and all of a sudden be out in the lake in the middle of the night fishing. I was like, gosh, it's like 2 a.m. and I am night fishing with my father, which was cool. I mean, I have those fond memories. But it's cold, it's wet. I have a poncho on with a little thing over, and I'm fishing at night with my father. And as a kid, you're just like, why am I here? Because the fish like to bite at night when it's raining. Like, it's like, oh. The only fishing I haven't done is ice fishing. I've never ice fished, ever. 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 I've never done it. Never ice fished. But I'm not a big fisher in real life. I will tell you this. I've never been on a large boat. I've never, like, fished for crabs and stuff. Though we do have crawdads around here, so I've trapped crawdads and things like that. Got some turtles. Did some bass fishing. Not a bit. I'm not big into fishing though. I'm just not. Aha! And this is what happened. See, our fishing for cues worked. And here we go. My machinist shall be 60 today. Whoa. I'm loving the machinist. I'm going to put this at full screen so I can see everything. A lot of people are like, are you ignoring the chat? No, I'm not ignoring the chat. It's just I have to extend everything so I can see my bars and stuff. All right, let's get some raptor stew in us. All right. Now I'm going to lose out on that boost XP because I'm not a tank and that money XP, which I could be using, but I really want to level this to 60. I really want to get it out of the way. Oh, I got it. Is that what I think it is? It is. It's a ninja. Oh my god. You know what that means? More damage. More damage. More damage. Dude just keeps pulling it. No, 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 no. Stop, stop, stop. You're fucking my turret up. Great, you got me killed. Dude can't even hold taunt. So sorry. Something happened. Something went wrong. Something. My cat was eating foil. Well, that's not good. That is not good. Try to choke. Yeah, you can't let the cat eat foil, right? You can't let the cat have the foil. Totally. I completely understand. I love this community. I actually do love this community. It's probably one of the best goddamn communities I've ever had. Actually, I'm afraid to talk because I'm just feel like I'm more of an ass than anybody else. I was wondering what the fuck was going on. I'm like, I'm dying here. I can't wait to get my flamethrower. Love the graphics. I always love these graphics. So much goddamn eye candy. Scott, what's up? This community is awesome. No racist talk in chat, no political, no hate, almost no. It's a yeah, dude. Right? No, for real. How you doing today, Scott? I hope you're doing good. Man, he leveled that bard pretty fast. I was like, damn, man, you're on that bard. Alright. We'll start off with the solo. I still got my buff, so. We're going to keep the bishop out. There's just going to be a ton of stupid ads. Totally out of my way, man. Just gonna focus him down. One's gonna hurt. God dang it. Almost. I'll have the limit break this time. Fuck. This first one's a bitch. Alright. Now, let me think here. I don't have the gauze barrel on here. I shouldn't have it. No. I didn't think so. This is too low for the gauze. Believe you and I, if I had that bitch, I'd be... And they're talking about buffing this class. People were like, buff that. Machinist needs buff. I'm like, okay. I'll take it. If you say so. Yes. Okay. I would like to say I'm having a good day, but I would be lying. Had a day. Oh, brother, I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry, brother. My friend's daughter just passed away too. Stepdaughter, car drunk driver, shit. Last week, it was heartbreaking. So yeah, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry to hear that, Scott. Got him. Who's up? Who's up? Who's up? Who's up? We get it. We'll get it. We'll be fine. Yeah, I lost my father-in-law. Oh my God. Dude, I'm so sorry. Hope everything works out with you and the wife. You've been there too. Yeah, man. Definitely, man. Just, you know, you never know what kind of curveballs you get thrown, right? It's just, man, it just sucks. You know, and anything, man. It's just like, of course, he's going to kite after I just rooked Bishop. I mean, dude, seriously, you're going to get me. Freak the coffin, I don't give a shit. Ouch. God. Dude. Yeah. So I have a thing with like I love the Machinist. I hope they buff this class just so people can cry nerf. There's no way that this class is... I'll tell you what. No. You know, I wanted to wait, but screw it. Dude, you gotta hold that thing, though. Now I'm stunned. Oh my god! I don't think it liked it. And I've been pulling aggro from this shit. I'm the only one that died. The thing just turned around and was like, fuck you! You fucking bastard, you hit me hard. This is a badass class. I love the Machinist. I love it. I love it. Yup. I have been my wife for almost 18 years. We've had our shares of rough patch. Dude, I've been there. I'll tell you, man. Me and my wife, we went through the separation at one time, and you know, we had to go through it, right, to understand what we had while we're together. No, it's not perfect. It's not. But you know what? At the end of the day, I'm just glad, you know, we had that thing. We each had our own little separate relationships. You know, we were actually separated for years, like 6 years. Me and my wife were. We were together for close to 8 the first time. We got together pretty young, and now we've been back together for almost 5 years now. But we were separated for almost 6 years there. We got to get this stupid ether valve. Oh, boy. Oh shit, wrong button. That's gonna suck. Alright. Paes. Yeah, I don't need to see it. I don't think any of us do. Let's go. Wait till he turns it. Bingo. Ninja got it as soon as it popped. Woof. Oh yeah. Pass. Player accommodation. I'm gonna give it to the ninja. Yo, Dave, what's up? What's up? What's up? I'm fishing for cues. Alright, so let's check this out. So I just got done. Yep, it's 11 o'clock. They changed it, the time's changed. You know, I'll queue it again. Just because. You know, whatever. So we're going back to our fishing. Because I gotta catch pike, man. I gotta catch it. Gotta catch them all. So I'm over here fishing for pike while I'm doing queues. Trying to level up my machinist to 60. God, I love the machinist. There's not actually a lot of things I'm not enjoying right now. Oh my god, except this fucking fish. So, you know what, though, Scott? I will say this, that I think you're right. I think some of my haters still are lingering, because it's funny, because I'll actually do a video. It's funny. Or either that or just people are pissed off. I'll do a video, and I'll have 2 to 3 dislikes every upload. I'm like, oh my god, somebody is so bent. I think it's my other little stalker, but they're so bent. Him and his little companion. Come on, pike. No trout. No trout. Make it a pike. RNG. Friggin' RNG. Yeah, but you can make some money, man. Like harvesting and fishing in this game. Just from those principles alone. Even if you're not going to craft. Like, there are people paying for the materials, right? For their crafting. And there's money to be made. Oh, looked like a big pull. Oh, and now I'm going to mooch it. I'm going to take that little sucker, and I'm going to mooch him. When you get like a rare specific type of fish, you can use mooch and use it as a bait to lure bigger fish. Usually good XP gain too. Come on. There it is. We got that bitch. He's not getting away this time. Emperor fish. Oh yeah, first time on the pool. Get it? On the pool. Yeah, but yeah, I really like the bar, dude. Yeah, you've been leveling them up. Been working on some macros now. I noticed the dislikes too. It's weird. You know, it's all good. It's all good. I don't care. You know, it is what it is. Yeah, I could have 13 views, and I guarantee you 2 of those are my little stalker bitches. It's like, or hating on me. It's just like, man, really? But you need haters. It's like Cat Williams. Oh, there's a pike. Nice. It's like Cat Williams said, you know, the world needs haters. Let them do their job. Let them do their fucking job. And it just goes to show, when you have haters, you're doing something right, right? Just saying. It was funny, I said something about Despotic and some dumbass was talking some shit. And I had mentioned, like, dude, I deal 1,000,000 damage with 6K score. And he's like, who's talking PvE? And I'm like, who is talking PvE, you fucking dump? And I'm like, I deal 1,000,000 damage in PvP with a 6K scorecard. Why do you think I get 100 motherfuckers watching me when I PvP live in ESO? Why? Why? Why do you think I get thousands of views on build videos? Shut the fuck up, you dip. Here's my advice. Get good. It was like, what is this dude smoking? I was like, he's like, nobody gives a shit about BGs. I'm like, absolutely not. No. And I'm like, and you know what happens with the 1vXers who enter BGs? They get their asses stomped. They get fucking bent. Not all of them. Like, A-Bomb's really good. Like, you can put him in BGs or in Cyrodiil, and he's good. There's players that are always going to be good. Like Despotic, same thing. But then there's players who have these 1vX, we won't mention names, and then they get into Battlegrounds and they get bent over. Like ass handed to them. And then they're saying, oh my god, well, Battlegrounds suck. They're not good. No, dude, you're not good. You never were. You're a tower farming bitch. You're not good. You're not a good PvPer. You just got a clue. That's why you avoid Battlegrounds. Because you actually suck. You actually sucked. A good PvPer will always be a good PvPer. It's just the way it is. I mean, and I'm not just even talking ESO, I'm talking anything. Anybody can use broken mechanics, and believe you and me, I use crutch builds. I come up, I design crutch builds. Why? Just the way it is. But that's why I don't play anymore, man. It's just, for me personally, it comes down to this whole thing like, okay, well, it's unfortunate that I have to put these type of builds together, but I do it. We all know I do it. And why? Because I'll exploit some shit. I will. I'll do it. If I find a broken mechanic or something I can exploit, believe you and me, I'll do it. Just because I want skilled based PvP. I want PvP that has proper elements, and you can do that across the board in any game, right? Everybody wants the class that's broken. That's what they want. That's what in any game you go to. In World of Warcraft, we had flavor of the month, dude. I've done it all. It was like, why am I doing this? Because it's broke, and until they fix it, exploit the shit out of it. Do it. I encourage people to do it. I encourage people to do it. Get people crying so goddamn bad about a class until they either, most of the time they do the dumb thing and nerf something, right? That's a dev's solution to everything. Take out the nerf bat and smack the class with it. That doesn't resolve the mechanic that's broke, or mechanics that are broke. Developers need to understand you have to start. Oh, I'm going to release that one. Developers have to understand that in order to really address the issue, nerfing isn't going to fix it. You got to address the balance lies in counterplay, not the class ability or the class per se. It applies to counter. Now, there are certain abilities in certain games and across the board that are a little always like, what the fuck? But, whatever. Now, I've never been the best. I'll never say I'm the best. Actually, in World of Warcraft, at one time, I could say I was the best. I was a 2-time GM in a season. Yeah, I was the best. At one time. Yeah, I could say that. In World of Warcraft, at one time, I could say I was the best. Because I didn't do it with just one. I did it 2 in one season. Like, fuck you. I am the best. And at certain times, I was on the top of my game. But I feel like there are always good players that will always can take you out, right? Take you down some notches. And not in every game that you play, you have to adapt. You have to learn. Like Black Desert Online right now, I actually am not a big fan of Battle Royales, except I'm really liking Black Deserts right now. But I really noticed that I am not that good. I mean, you can add the RNG and you can make excuses. But honestly, if you're not familiar with a class and you're not familiar with the combo structure, you're pretty much going to be SO friggin' L. You have to, know that class combos. I mean, at least the base combos. That's not to say that you don't get another skill. But the combat system is so flipping fast, and the way they did it, I'm in love with it. It's like you don't get just 1 or 2 hit. It's like there's going to be those countermeasures for each class that kind of plays really cool. So I'm really enjoying Black Desert's Shadow Arena right now. I love it. I am insanely in love with the Shadow Arena. 1 second. All right, sorry about that, guys. We might be leaving soon. Like I said, I do have to leave sometime very soon. Shit. The pool ran dry. All right, well, this is going to give me a chance to check this out really quick. Whether or not we had a reset at 11 o'clock. So I'm going to withdraw. And now we see, yep, that's what's going on. So, Alliance raids, man, I'm not going to do that one. Oh, shit. Well, that sucks. Got to go repair. Well, at least my queue time's pretty long. But yeah, sorry about that. We had to message somebody. We're getting a car for my daughter today. So the first cars, actually, we're not, technically we're buying it for her, but she's paying us for it because she works. She should know responsibility. That's actually thanks to her mother that we're doing this. Because her mother was like, well, you know, it's hard for anybody to have that money up front, and I do agree. So her mother's doing good, you know, with that. So she's 17, yeah. Scary stuff. Wait till yours starts driving, Scott. You'll be like, no. Sometimes I wish I lived in a city just so my kids wouldn't ever have to drive. Okay, 1 second. Yeah. Yeah. She's getting a car. Yeah, I'm scared. Well, yeah. It's actually it's actually a Buick. Yeah, it's a 2002. But anyways, she's going to be driving a Buick. It actually doesn't have a pretty good miles. It needs a little bit of work. Nothing, you know, but it does need some money put into it. So we're going to buy it. We're going to fix it up. Nothing major. The engine works. Transmission works. Just, you know, so a little bit of the suspension needs a little work and a couple of the brakes and stuff. One of the brakes were sticking or something. But nothing bad. But yeah, so it's just, you know, it's just a little bit of, you know, it's something to start with. My first car I had was a total lemon. You know, we put money into it, but it first cars, you know, kids, you know, all that stuff. So, you know, but the main thing is to have a reliable vehicle. She doesn't go far. Her work is literally 5 minutes down from where we live. You know, it just the essentials. You know, that's pretty much about it. So that's about all. I'm totally comfortable with like, oh, when is your guild going to run the raids? On what? On here? We're actually we're prepping up for Shadowbringers. We've been running like we in this game you pug raids. I've been running raids. So Slayers, I'm not worried about right now. If you're talking about like the hard mode stuff, like Slayers, I'm not really worried about it because the gear progression, you do Slayers for gear progression, and the gear is going to go basically when we get they're resetting the tombstone or the currency here. I want to say in May, so like it'll be almost pointless to farm for your best in slot. So best in slot isn't whatever, but in this game you can queue raids like your normal raids. If you want to do Slayer, you want to get pre-mades. That's when you wanted the guilds. So Shadowbringer is where me and like Kel and Scott and Hop and a couple of us will be recruiting more heavily to fill in the spots that we need to get Slayers. Like normal raids in this game, you can pug. So it's just like some are more effective than others. But when it comes to the Slayers, that's when you want pre-mades. That's when you want a pre-made. That's when you want to get things a little bit more locked down for your gear progression. So, but that's what I like. It kind of has that DC aspect to it. And I guess that's another thing I like about it. Like, there can be challenging parts, like Extreme. Like, if you're going to do Trial Extreme, you can do it in a pug, but it's really fucking hard. But a lot of times, your Trial Extremes, you're only in there for ponies, man. You don't need... You can do hard modes and get your primal weapons. So primal weapons and your relic stuff, you have to do all that stuff to, like, do your upgrades. But, no, I have to go this way and then over. But, yeah, so you can pug pretty much most of your raids. What is the high-end game content like? ESO has trials? Yeah, well, trials, okay, so, all right, let me get into, okay, so for example, we have expert dungeons. So experts are harder content. They're the harder version of your normal dungeons. It's like ESO hard mode. You have normal dungeons, then you have the hard mode in Elder Scrolls. Same thing here. It's the same concept. Trials, right, come in hard modes, normal and hard modes, and then you have extremes, right? And extremes right here, for example, are the harder form of trials. So those are how you get ponies, right? So you can get, like, your hard modes can get your primal weapons. That's all you need to do to get, like, a primal weapon is, I don't think it drop in normal, but, like, hard modes will drop your primal weapons. And then extremes are just, like, for your ponies and your, like, feats and stuff. So if you want to get, like, your ponies or have a chance to get a pony or whatever, you do your extreme, right? It's just extra incentive to do it. You don't have to, but hard you can get your primal weapons. Okay, so that's why everybody does the trials in here to get the primal weapons. Then you have your raids, right? So there are 8-man raids, which are normal, right? So you can do normal versions of raids. Now, so there's alliance raids and normal raids. Normal raids are 8-man. Alliance raids are 24-man. Now, those are normal that's normal, but each of them also have Slayer modes, right? So there's normal modes, and then there's Slayers, right? And Slayers are, like, the harder version of everything in this game. So if you're going to do Slayers, that's just to increase, like, say I'm doing a Slayer. It's to get the better drop and to suffice until I get my currency or my crafted set prior. Like, you can upgrade your crafted sets in this game. So in this game, you can get a crafted piece, and then you have to do the raid to get the upgrade component to upgrade your crafted gear, and until you can earn enough to get your tombstone gear. And if you do crafted gear, you can also get a forbidden, another slot towards your material, which is really hard. It can fail, but you can do that. So there's a lot to it. So, and as far as like Elder Scrolls has 12-man trials, and so those are like our raids in here. So it's just like high-end game is about your gear progression and what you're trying to do to get it. Your first car was a 1988 IROC Z. Dude, that's actually a pretty damn good first car, dude. But yeah, so it in comparison to Elder Scrolls, like I said, it has an open system. So like literally, it's all about how you're building and what you're building for, right? As far as your group play, right? So we know, like, oh, for example, we're gonna have, like, say if I'm gonna use a DK healer, right? And we got a Templar healer. So Templar healers are prime, and I'm going to use a DK healer. Well, I'm going to use certain sets and configuration on my DK that might be slightly different than the Templar, but you have to have certain sets in conjunction with each other, depending on the class. So it all determines like how your trials are going to run in Elder Scrolls, right? Pretty much. I've always said that. It's always going to be down to how you how you configure your raid party or your trial party in Elder Scrolls. But everything's adjustable in Elder Scrolls, right? Depending on the build and what your team's doing. Same thing with tanks, same thing with pretty much all of it. In this game, it's straight linear. It's just there's no adjusting. Like pretty much like all three healers have the same gear sets. All three healers are using the same gear set. The only difference of it is what are they bringing to the table as far as their individual classes is concerned. So it's literally how you make up a party in Final Fantasy XIV is dependent on what you need. Like, for example, your end game, like a lot of people want to have the Black Mage. No doubt deals a shitload of damage. But the Black Mage, as strong as it is better with support classes like the Bard, like the Dragoon, like the Ninja. Because when you apply all three of these other classes, right, guess what ends up happening? It deals more damage. I don't know if I can ice fish. Can I ice fish? No. No. But anyway, so that's how this game breaks down. This is a linear game. Difficulty, once again, it's based on, like, normals aren't too bad. You have to know the mechanics. I've died on mechanics, like trying to even get to know the mechanics. So even on normal, if you don't know a mechanic, you'll biff it. Even when you're learning a mechanic, you'll biff it. But when you have people who know their mechanics and they're learning it, once they got it down, you're good to go. Slayer, just you know, increased timers, right? And maybe one or two curveballs thrown in. But if people don't got their shit together and something's lacking behind, your party will pay for it. So it has the difficulty there, but it's just like, hey, common sense and gear progression. Make sure you have the gear, you have the hit, you know. But this game's not going to let you in anything if you don't have the, you know, your gear score up. It's like DCUO in that. You can't go to DCUO and raid if you don't have the gear score, if you don't have the combat rating. So there are a lot of little differences in linear games. So this plays like WoW. So that's why a lot of World of Warcraft players are now coming to Final Fantasy XIV. Why? Because it has the familiarity with the HUD, with the progression system, pretty much everything. So why, you know, if not to say that WoW players won't play ESO, because there are some, you know, diving into that. But if it comes down to a familiar progression system, they're more likely going to play Final Fantasy XIV versus. Why? Because, well, the only thing way different from this in World of Warcraft is literally how you unlock content. Because you have to do the MSQ to unlock the content. There's no if, and, or but around it. You will do it. You might hate it, but you will do it. I'm trying to find extra rivers and shit. Final Fantasy 11 had the 24-man stuff. Right. Like DAOC and EverQuest and big 40-man, 50-man raids. Yeah. But, you know, like World of Warcraft also had the 40-man raids. Right. And I kind of contribute the way that WoW originally did it, at least vanilla WoW, was the same concept as what EQ had. I mean, that's how I take it. But yeah, it's exactly it, man. Right. And, you know, I mean, everybody's going to have the difference of how they want to progress. Elder Scrolls definitely has the better open-end system and how you want to. I mean, what I like about ESO is this. The gear progression is subjective, right? It's subjective. It's based on what your party's needing, right? And what class you're playing in what role. Then you guys, your team determines what's the best course of action based on that. A lot of people want to say, like, you know, the meta players want to keep to a certain thing. That's not always going to be that way. And, you know, I've shown that more than a time or two. So it literally is going to come down. I'm going to end up at the same fishing hole, but fuck it. Get that fucking chinchilla off me. There's also a fishing hole in this thing, but I need that pike. Hopefully it's just respawned. We've got it all filled up and stuff. But yeah, the progression system in linear, well, a couple of the things that I don't like, and I will say, it's friggin' shit balls. Sucks. Let's see if I can find one up here. Chinchilla was about to try to take me out. Death by chinchilla. But anyways, the progression systems in every game can be, you know, slightly. Did I go up here? I know I went this way, but did I actually go up here? That's what I'm wondering. I'll check it out. But progression systems in linear games, what I didn't like about World of Warcraft was I would get all my legendary gear. Took me months of just tedious bullshit, right? Farming and weekly lockouts and he can go on a ride here in a little bit. I'll take him. He can ride with us. We had the grandkids earlier. There's nothing we could do then. But anyways, I would farm up all this gear, and then all of a sudden the expansion drops. Next expansion. And what happened? First green gear that drops replaces all of my hard work. All of it. All of it's gone. All of it. Every flipping piece replaced by commons. Yeah. That was pretty monumental, to say the least. But in this game, it's actually good because most of your, what I've noticed is what I've been getting in gear, in Tombstone gear or progression gear, it will actually last me like 3 or 4 levels to the next, through the next expansion, which is actually nice. That's actually pretty good. It's a good evidence of saying, yeah, you're going to have to replace your gear, right? And eventually, like a level 56 gear will replace your epic gear. A 56 green will replace your level 50 epic, but a 51 green isn't going to replace your 50 epic. So I like that. It's like, okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I don't want to keep having to replace gear. It's just like, if I'm going to replace something from hard work, I want it to be hard work. In Elder Scrolls, one thing, you know, like I said, it's nice because you can acquire the sets you need to get certain content done, whether it's in PvP or PvE. But you just get to this point where you're like, okay, I need a set that makes me want to go out and do something now more. You know, I need something other than, is my point. So, and there's different ways of doing that. I'm playing classic EQ server in DAOC. I'm glad they don't have lockouts for raids. Yeah. I mean, lockouts are definitely... I don't mind a weekly lockout. Like, we have weekly lockouts in this game for every time they update the raids. So the newest raid has a weekly lockout system. And the older ones open up to being farmable, which I actually do not mind that. Like, I actually like that. So you have your progression team, and then you have the players who, you know, want to get into it, but don't have to play catch-up so much. So they have progression, but at the same time, it's not like, oh, weekly lockout for me is like, it's a part of being the hardcore, right? The elite, especially when you start getting into like your slayers or your extremes or whatever content. That's where the hardcore mentality becomes relevant. That's like, you're not getting your entire set this week. You're not getting your entire set next week. You're not getting your entire set. It's going to take time to build up to that. And it's going to take a team who knows the mechanics, who's on point to get through the content itself. So that becomes the elite attitude, right? That becomes, but in this game, they're all so friggin' friendly. I don't know even if the end game players are elite asshats. Like, they're elite, but not asshats. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have your elite players, but they're really cool. They're like, just kick it. Like, oh yeah, don't worry, man. We'll get you through this content. Just, you know, this is what's going on. And everybody's like that. And that's what I like. I'm like, hey, man, that's the way it should be. Unfortunately, I'm not conditioned that way. But, you know, if I can give a heads up, that's cool. But most of the players, from a normal raid perspective, you can progress throughout the game without even doing, like, the most absurd, you know, means. Because most of that stuff's fluff. Except, like I said, like your slayers. Then, you know, there's going to come to a point when you're in between your tombstones, you have to do that just to keep into play. So, but yeah, EverQuest, I remember the old days of EQ raiding because there were no instances. And you would go to the raid, and they would have raid areas and dungeons and stuff. And you would go in there and literally getting just through the mobs because you'd have, you know, respawns and stuff. Once you got through the mobs, you were just praying that people weren't down there farming their gear, because people could just keep farming respawn and getting their gear. And you could literally probably in 2 or 3 days be totally decked, right? But each boss had a certain pieces that dropped in, you know, had a percentage of drop rate. Then that's pretty custom. But for me personally, I loved, and I will repeat this, I loved when there was a progression system or a system that incentivized something. Like Elder Scrolls, I loved the dungeons. I loved the mechanics. But, like, the elites in there aren't really, in my opinion, they don't really know what it's like to have to go through hard end mechanics in the essence of, like, it's rinse and repeat, you know? Like, for rinse and repeat mechanics, it's like, it's progression. It's like, have you been on a weekly lockout? How many weeks did it take you to get your set, you know? Maybe that's why DAOC is my favorite MMO. Man, you can get champ 10 to champ level 10 ML, 10 and level 50. Get your chance, weapons, and some artifacts. Then just go PvP, run raids for fun. Like, yeah, right, exactly. No, exactly. And once again, you know, Matt, I thought that was definitely another reason they pulled him in, right? They definitely, when they pulled Matt in, I kind of knew what to expect. Because DAOC is one of those things that, like, you can get your gear and be competitive, right? In any element of the game. And I like that about Elder Scrolls, right? I do. But at one point it becomes monotonous. It's just like, okay, well, what am I doing, man? No. I'm not here for the fluff. Well, that's great. Gonna have to do a recast. Can you keep aggro off me at least? Oh. We need to eat my raptor stew. No, but I feel you, man. Like, the AOC is the bomb. Like, one of my favorite games of all time. One of my favorite games of all time. Especially when it comes down to, like, raiding, man, or sieging. That's why I love the AOC, right? It takes me back. Stop moving them. Fucking me up, dude. Well, at least my bishop. Alright. There's a lot of good games out there. Old school games were definitely like the shit back in the day. You know, I mean, the way it all worked out. Okay, we're still good on the buff. Wrong button. That's gonna cost me. This dungeon gets played a lot. Out of all the dungeons, I'm always getting the same ones. Alright. Pass. What are you doing, dude? On my buff. Just stop right there. God, I love this class. No, don't do it, dude. Don't do it. God dang it. You're fucking costing me, team. Motherfucker. Ah, shit. I'm great. I'm out of TP, man. I knew it was gonna happen. Dude's pulling way too big. Whatever. We're getting rid of the TP soon anyways, but... yeah, well... Suck because we ain't got no snowballs yet. Can we get some snowballs, please? Or not? Oh shit. You know what? Is there a snowball? No. Doesn't matter. I think should be dead right here. Holy fuck. Alright. It seems different when I'm actually not tanking or healing this shit. Wait till he stops. Might as well. Well, I'm not gonna be able to go through there, dude. Great. Dude, what in the fuck are we doing? Just... Not pulling shit. Of course, is going to move it out of my... Do not move it out of my AoE. Okay. After this, I do got to get going. All right. I just got to get behind the ice pillars. That's the biggest thing about this mechanic. Bingo. Hell yeah. That's what we do. Tank was pretty good. I'm going to give it up to tank. Pass. Take that. Pretty good. Yeah, so, man, if you go back and stream, I'll go hardcore all over again. Just picked Midgar. Awesome. My main is a Berserker, and main alt is a Thane. Thane, dude, I remember. Oh, my God. That is so... takes me back, man. ESO strength is all about new content and more sets to try and make unique builds. No gear being absolute once a chapter drops, etc. But it has flaws as well, like all games. Right, every game does. I agree. I played the free trial for Final Fantasy XIV and ended up resubbing to DAOC. If I am tab targeting in an MMO or on PC, it will be like DAOC. Yeah, I mean, because that's the way it was all built at one time, right? I mean, at one time, that's what we, associated combat with. And I never thought I'd go back to a tab target system. Like DAOC, like to this day had, I mean, it was laggy, but it was to be anticipated back then, right? The way things went. So back in the day, though, the sieging and DAOC, it just took you back. And then when you went to Final TSO, you were just like, oh my God, this is like, when I first stepped foot in Elder Scrolls, I was taken back to those days, right? Of pushing, the battering ram up to the keep door, jumping on the trebuchets, things like that. It made sense to me. But then you take a look at the community, though, but the community's a lot different in the times. Because for a player like me, I love Siege Warfare, right? I love like people coming together, random people to play the objective of what sieging means. But unfortunately, the toxicity of Elder Scrolls prevents the actual game being presented in the way it was supposed to be developed. But, you have that in every game, but I don't know. It's just weird. But then the Battlegrounds came in. And, I really like a diverse PvP system. And I would tell people that there are different games that kind of give you what you're looking for, but unfortunately, you have to be aware that every game has one or two minor problems. But the biggest thing for me in any game, when I'm looking for a game, an MMO to PvP in, is the counter mechanics. That's the biggest thing for me. Like Rift, I played Rift for the longest time. I was a hardcore Rift player, a hardcore Battleground player. We didn't have the same association as World of Warcraft, but in Rift, you got rank placements, you know, on leaderboards. But it didn't have the same prestige. But me and my dudes, we would just rip through Rift. And sometimes we were on each other's team, sometimes we were against, especially when they did that, you know, where you could either play Defiance or, you know, Guardian, when you could literally be swapped. But it was cool, man. It was really cool, like how you got to play in that element back in the day. So I will take. I'm wrapping up right now. One. All right, sorry about that. All right, so might be able to squeeze one more in, maybe. Trying to get there. Machinist looks cool. It runs smooth as butter. Yeah, butter now. What does? What runs smooth? DOC? DOC, I bet does. Like now? I bet you DOC runs like insanely awesome. It's like, well, they're girls. You're lucky if you can find a brush half the time with those kids. All right. All right. So you're talking about DOC, David? I imagine DOC runs like super smooth. to be honest with you. Like, DAOC should be running, like, beyond butter. It should be, like, almost, like, way insane. Like, any old game that... But the only thing you have to deal with in older games, and I will say this, is the graphics. You know, because they're a little dated. You know, they are a little dated. They're just a little bit, you know, outdated. And it makes sense, you know. So a lot of people don't want to play outdated graphics. I don't necessarily think that's a problem if the quality of the content is there, you know. Like, I'll sacrifice graphics. Graphics, to me, is secondary next to the quality of the content. Performance is an issue. I'll say that. There are times, like, Blizzard has the best IP in the industry. Next to, you know, either they do, I'll tell you what, Asian IPs are no joke. You don't fuck with Asian IPs. Like, Black Desert IP is Pearl Abyss's IP. They have one title out, and their IP is strong as hell. Like, that's the one thing you have to get right in the gaming industry. You don't have a choice, especially if you're going to run a multiplayer feature. You know, if you're going to have a multiplayer feature, you better hope you've secured a strong, you've done your work and established a strong IP. Because if you didn't, you're going to get fucked down the road. And of course, netcoding is going to have a big part to do with that as far as establishment. We'll release. I'm 57. I'm about to be 58. If I don't hit the 60 today in Machinist, I should be able to get it by tomorrow. Should be able to. I'm just trying to finish them up, though. I mean, get them to 60. Then I'll worry about the 70 run when I get the SAM up and things like that. Oh my. Oh my, oh my. But later, bro. Okay, it's true. You have to try hard in ESO. That cry about Zergs and big boy PvP, like fight one one-on-one, like how we are keep with two people. You know, get the fuck out right. You have to BG and duel for one-on-ones. Right. Yep. I agree, man. Totally. You take care, Dave, man. You have a good one, brother. I hope you have a good day. Yeah, I totally agree. You know, a lot of players, you know, you can't... You have to understand there are the different demographics to PvP, right? And I agree with you right there in that statement. Like, are you a good PvPer, or are you just good at tower farming and pulling people in and, you know, doing all the cheese, and that's what you're good at? I mean, to me, that's like, well, if somebody's like, you know, are you a good PvPer? I'm like, well, it depends. I'm like, in certain ways, from a mechanical standpoint and understanding, you know, strategically, yeah, I'm beyond exceptional. But here's the deal. I run cheese. I got a lot of cheese whiz, man, in ESO. Because the game allows me to do it. Does that make me a good PvPer? Absolutely not. It doesn't make me a good PvPer. It actually makes me look really bad for using cheese mechanics. But I have no choice to stay competitive. So it's just like, it sucks. And that's why you kind of get a little frustrated. You're like, oh my God, you know, why, you know, to me, a good PvPer has multiple elements that they bring. When you watch, like, that's why I said Fang Rush is my favorite ESO PvPer. No matter what he does, he's good at it. He's really good. Whether he's, you know, pushing for keeps, defending keeps, you know, points, battlegrounds, small group incursions, this man is a general. You know, he puts people together that can get the job done. You see him in the sewers, dude rips. Dude fucking rips. And that's why I consider him one of my favorites. He's not a one-trick pony, you know? If a one-trick ponies that like will look for the best clip and upload it are no PvPer in my book. They're junk. They're garbage. They're fucking trash. That, don't do highlights unless you can stream it. It's not real if you can't stream it. That's why I keep trying to tell. And I've called people out on it. I called them, and they fell flat on their face. And we all know a couple players who I've called out. They tried to become streamers, and they backed the fuck up really quick. Why? Because they were getting their ass handed to them. It's like, stop. You're not that good. You're good. You're not that good. Okay? There are exceptions to the players. It's okay to die. It's fine to die. But when you keep getting your ass ripped because you keep barreling in and trying to showboat, and you look more scrubby than anything, it's like, stop it. Why? Think smart. You got people watching you. The only person you're exposing is yourself. So stop. And that's what I think, like, a lot of games, you have this toxic attitude between clippers and streamers. Every game has their streamers. Every game has their clippers. But streamers, to me, get the most respect. It's real. It's absolutely 100% legit. Whether they die or not I could care less. What I want to see is how good they maneuver, right? What's their average look like? How well are they adapting to the circumstances? That's what I look for in a content creator and from a streamer, PvPer. Hands down, every day of the week. I'm looking at the way they handle the situation in front of them, no matter what. And to me, that's what I appreciate about a strong, solid, good PvPer. Not people talking shit, waiting for those videos to upload, and then all of a sudden, what ends up happening? They fall flat on their fucking face. Oh, I don't know. What happened? We lost. Woohoo, woohoo. It's like, yeah. Let's see what the XP looks like. We're getting up there. No, I love this game. I'm having a blast playing it. What happened to my bait? Damn it. I used all my bait. We'll use the lure. And I leveled up. I leveled up on the first. I only have 2 pikes. Maybe the lure will get me more. So this is what I do when I'm waiting for a queue. For anybody who doesn't know, I harvest, I fish, I hunt. I'm not going to sit around doing absolutely nothing when I'm waiting for a queue. Go AFK, hopefully catch the screen. I don't typically do that. Okay, now I'm going to quit. I'm going to switch over. We're going to commence. It'll be close. I should level. I should. As long as I eat my food and get my bonus. What the fuck are they doing? Hide. Hide. God dang it. Ah, shit, I'm stunned. Alright, leveled up. Let's see. Oh, dude, what? Shut up. What's the chances, man? Alright, so. Garuda's Abandon. All right. So, anyways, I'm going to cut it. I'm going to get the heck out of here. I got a bunch of stuff to do. But anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching. 58. Hoping to get 59. 60 within the next 2 days. We'll see. I also am working on that next video. I'll be editing and doing some stuff tonight. But if you guys have any questions, comments, please post below. Once again, I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm Mystic Raven. This is Mystics MMOs. And as always, thank you. Have a nice day.